beautiful Shawnee, Oklahoma. We have a fantastic night of boxing here inside the ring, brought to you by HD Boxing. My name is Andrew Spino. I'll be your host this evening. Joining me ringside for tonight's broadcast, former heavyweight champion of Oklahoma, Darren Humphrey. Our main event, the road to redemption. Middleweight contender Bo Gibbs, undefeated 18-0, going into his last bout in a shocking upset. Never in his long amateur career and 18 pro fights had Gibbs ever hit the canvas in his fight, down 3 times in a shocking 6-round TKO. His opponent tonight, Dennis Knifechief, coming off 4 straight wins, a serious fighter on the Oklahoma boxing scene, and the stakes are incredibly high inside the ring for our main event here at Firelake Arena. Darren, tell us what you're looking forward to in the main event, and is Bo Gibbs taking on too tough an opponent for his first comeback after a shocking loss like that?
Well, perhaps. That's a good question that we all are going to find the answer to tonight. Bo Gibbs is obviously the bigger, stronger guy. I think Dennis is probably going to be more of the boxer. He's, not quite as strong as Bo, but it's going to be a great fight. I think it's kind of a tough fight in your first fight back, but we're going to see. Should
be very interesting to see how Gibbs rebounds after this loss. The guy he lost to was actually an MMA fighter. He was 4-1, so it was shocking on a lot of levels. In our main event tonight, what should we be looking for in the ring? What should we be noticing from Bo Gibbs to determine where he is as a fighter?
Well, first I think it's going to be his physique. What kind of shape is he in? I'm assuming he had a good camp coming into this fight. This is a pretty big fight, especially here on the Oklahoma scene. Knifechief is no pushover. He comes to fight every time, and I think his record would say that. Gibbs Jr. obviously had a long amateur career, so I expect him to come out and probably set the pace with a good, strong jab, and he's going to be coming forward the whole time. So I think Knifechief's going to have to be the boxer tonight.
All right, well, we will find out in the ring. Bo Gibbs not making the 160 limit, weighed in, did his best, but came in at 161. This is, he says, his last bout as middleweight. He's going to go up to 168 after this. What can that do to a fighter when they don't make weight?
Well, obviously it's a little bit of a mental thing, but I know Gibbs Jr. and his father, his trainer. I don't think that's going to affect them into the fight.
They're not slackers. Everyone knows that. They are hard-working guys.
Right, absolutely. I don't think it's really going to affect him as far as the fight goes. I think maybe it was a little bit of a disappointment at weigh-in, but Bo's a professional. He's had many fights, amateur and pro. And I think that's something he can kind of push to the side and get out there and take care of business.
And has really become a hometown hero on the Oklahoma City scene, making a national name for himself. And it is do or die tonight for Bo Gibbs Jr. His career really on the line as he makes his first comeback fight after that shocking loss, a TKO in the 6th in his last bout. We have that fight, several other great fights coming up, including a top-ranked amateur bout that everyone is going to want to see. One guy turning pro, another one going to Olympic trials.
Right.
Should be a very exciting fight. All that and more coming up here at Firelake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Brought to you by HD Boxing. We'll have our first bout coming up.
Automax Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram is proud to be the sponsor of the title match this evening, and we welcome anyone even considering a new vehicle to give us a chance to earn your business. Our sales staff is friendly and knowledgeable, and our process is completely transparent. We're located at 4141 North Harrison Street in Shawnee, so give us a call today at 405-275-1104 or visit AutomaxDodge.com. Automax Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram, where the deals are automatic.
If you are suffering from pain, anxiety, inflammation, seizures, nausea, or nervous system degeneration, there is a new product you should hear about: CBD. At BS Unlimited, we have THC-free CBD oil, edibles, vape juice, lotions, and sprays. Once you try it, you'll be a believer and want to tell everyone. BS Unlimited offers a huge selection of CBD products just right for you. Come see what all the talk is about. BS Unlimited, 420 Southwest 59th.
Time for dinner. Let's go.
Guys, I said no gloves at the table.
Listen to your mother.
Metro PCS brings you closer than ever to the UFC. Anytime, anywhere. On a reliable network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Metro PCS. Wireless figured out.
Welcome back to Firelake Arena in beautiful Shawnee, Oklahoma. Tonight's bout's brought to you by HD Boxing. We are starting tonight with a amateur main event. Two highly rated, nationally rated amateurs getting in the ring. One of them, Carlos Hernandez. The last amateur fight before he makes his pro debut, Raul Manriquez. One of his last bouts before Olympic trials in December. This is our one amateur bout of the night. The fighters getting into the ring. Darren Humphrey, what should we look forward to?
Well, I think this is going to be a great fight to start the evening off. Carlos, you would think, would be looking for a swan song with his last amateur fight, but it doesn't look like he's taking a swan song fight at all. Raul's ranked pretty high in the nation, and I think it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, Manriquez, far from an easy mark. This is quite the upper echelon bout of the amateurs right here. We are going to send it up for ring announcements to Gerald Whalen.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us live at home as well as in attendance here at Firelake Arena. This is Championship Boxing brought to you by HD Boxing in association with Automax, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and Quantum CBD H2O. We kick off the action here with the first amateur bout scheduled for three 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at an official 135 pounds. He hails from Dallas, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, Raul, the Ugly Kid Manrique. And his opponent from across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at an official 135 pounds from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, Carlos Hernandez.
This is the main event on the amateur card. Two top flight amateurs in the 141-pound division. Carlos Hernandez in the red corner, Raul Manrique in the blue. Darren, these guys are among the best of the best in the country, nationally ranked national titles. What should we look for?
Well, I think they bring a lot of experience to the ring. To me, it looks like they're both leading off with a great jab. I think there's a little bit of difference when you get into the level that these guys are as far as fighting. They know to use their jab, and it looks like they're doing a great job here at the beginning of this fight.
Both of these guys just 17 years old, but already making themselves a name on the national scene. Raul Manrique, he is actually ranked number 6th in the world. Like we said earlier, an Olympic hopeful, going to the Olympic tryouts in December in Salt Lake City. That's the Elite Boxing Championships, one of the elimination Olympic trials to represent the U.S. in the 2020 Olympics. These guys are very measured. They're very sharp. Their skills are really on another level from the other amateurs earlier in the evening. Darren, is there enough action? Are these guys too tentative? Do they perhaps respect each other too much?
Well, perhaps. Both of these guys are at the top at their weight, and looks like they came out banging a little bit, and now they're trying to set up the jab. I noticed Carlos, he's kind of setting back, trying to set things up with the jab, although he just got hit with a big right hand.
Yes, very nice one too, and another one.
Comes back with a good left hook there, though.
He did. These two trading shots in the blue corner have avoided the ropes for the most part until now.
And for Raul to be heading into the Olympic trials later on in the year, this is kind of a tough fight for him to be taking. I think, again, when you're at this level, you're not worried about, losing a fight before you move on to your next one this high in the amateurs.
Right, but these guys clearly on a different level. Very sharp, very precise, crisp punches, nice combinations. And from what I can tell so far, a pretty even bout. What do you think, Darren?
Yeah, it looks good. They're both bringing a lot of power to the table, it looks like.
Guys
feeling each other out here.
There's Manrique pawing out with the jab, trying to find his range. Both these guys almost look tentative because there's a good chance neither one has faced a fighter of the caliber of the other tonight.
Well, it looks like they're back in the middle of the ring here, setting it up with a few seconds to go. To me, it's a pretty close round. We'll see who's going to win these last few seconds to win the round.
Very close round one. Round two coming up.
Here in Tornado Alley, severe weather can strike at any moment. Don't leave your family exposed. Protect them with a tornado-safe certified shelter. Convenience is the key when it comes to safety during a storm. The underground garage units are installed right in your garage. This eliminates the need to go outside during a storm and doesn't require the use of valuable square footage. Tornado Safe above ground safe rooms meets and exceeds FEMA 321, 360, and ICC 500 protocols, which includes impact testing, design pressure testing, and uniform load structural pressure testing.
Round two of our main event in the amateurs tonight. This is our first fight of the broadcast. We've had quite a number of off-air amateur bouts. This one, a pretty big deal, though. Carlos Hernandez from the red corner, Raul Manrique in the blue corner, both 17 years old, both nationally ranked, national champions in the amateurs at 141 pounds. Joining us ringside, former Oklahoma heavyweight champion Darren Humphrey. Darren, you got to be impressed with these guys' skills, and it looks like each one feels like they got a feel for the other because they're a little more open with their hands at the beginning of this round.
Yeah, and keep in mind this is an amateur fight, so it's 3 3-minute rounds. So typically they are going to be standing in the middle and trading punches. So it looks like they're doing a good job of that now. Raul's flipping out a nice jab. Looks good. Oh, nice left hook as well.
Drew Hernandez caught him on the edge of that left hook, right on the end of the punch. And he keeps coming out of that combination, throwing the left hook, that time downstairs, and it landed.
Throwing heavy leather right now.
It really is.
Looks like Raul's maybe trying to close the show a little bit.
Good exchange of punches, but in no way sloppy. Good 1-2 landed by Hernandez there. These guys really, you can tell, have a lot of respect for each other. Maybe even surprised by how good the other one was.
Yeah, potentially, like we talked about earlier. These are two top guys, and for Raul to be, or for Carlos to be his last fight coming out of the amateurs, it sure is a tough one.
Raul Manrique is ranked number 6 in the United States by USA Amateur Boxing. He has 3 Golden Gloves championships from 2015. 16 and 17.
Wow.
Pulled a hat trick in the last 3 years with Golden Gloves championships.
Yeah, he looks good, but Carlos, coming from the Azteca gym out here out of Oklahoma City, he's going to be a well-versed fighter as well.
And you know a thing or two about that gym.
Yep, I grew up sparring and training quite a bit over there at Azteca. A bunch of good trainers, good guys over there.
Really good fighters have come out of that gym. And I always thought Azteca was what a gym should be, what a boxing gym should be. Grimy, dirty, hardcore. That's where you train the best fighters. Good exchange of punches in the center of the ring.
Nice slip in there by Raul.
Hernandez went wild and a little high on that left hook. Manrique slipped under it. Now they're fighting in Hernandez's corner. Hernandez is back against the ropes. Oh, but comes back with a beautiful left hook that had Manrique staggered right here at the end of round 2. Round 3 coming up.
Boomerang Diner, home of the world-famous Burger Basket. Don't forget Friday night all-you-can-eat catfish at all Boomerang Diner locations. or enjoy breakfast all day, anytime. Check for the location nearest you at boomerangdiner.com.
Welcome back to Firelake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Tonight's bout's brought to you by HD Boxing. Highlights here of round number 2 of what it can only be described as an amateur super fight at 141 pounds. Both of these guys nationally ranked, multiple national championships around their waist, and this is a very even fight so far, at least in my humble opinion. Darren Humphreys, what do you see?
Well, I think it's pretty close as well. I think this last round is going to determine it probably. Raul certainly didn't come in here to be an opponent.
Yeah, I really don't. Oh, nice exchange of punches, headshots. As once again, Hernandez finds himself on the receiving end of that left hook. And for the first time, Enrique has his back to the ropes. Not for long, though. Spun out of that corner. Now both fighters going back to the center of the ring. These guys, among being the best amateurs in the nation, you can certainly see a skill and technique at a different level from even a lot of pro bouts.
Yep, I think that's fair to say. Again, both of these guys have probably had over 80 fights together. Most of these, a lot of these pro guys.
Good exchange of right hands. One of them
Good
snapped
right
the head back of Hernandez. Hernandez had his head snapped back. It was so long ago, I can't remember if it was the left or the right.
These guys are quick, so they're hitting each other.
Both these guys have fast hands. Good exchanges both on the outside and the inside. Hernandez swinging a little wild with that left hook yet again, but that time it landed.
Great left hook by Hernandez.
Enrique snapped his head back.
These guys are exchanging. This is why people come to watch a boxing match.
Very good combinations. And Enrique is very elusive as he's working his way on the inside. If you watch him, he comes in very effectively and really does not get tagged coming in.
Manrique's leaving that left hand down, though. Hernandez connects with another left hook. Might not be pretty.
He's dropping that right as he's coming out of those combinations. That one landed a little bit behind the ear, but a couple inches forward. It might have tagged him right on the chin. Manrique describes himself as a boxer puncher, very aggressive, dictating the pace, and he's showing that here. But Hernandez, such a skilled fighter, Manrique is not able to dictate the pace, maybe like he's used to.
Good jab there by Hernandez.
These guys look like they're taking a little breather. They've been fighting pretty hard. This, the third and final round of this main event in the amateurs. Carlos Hernandez in red, Raul Manrique in blue.
Manrique is leading with his head a little bit.
One of the few clinches of the fight. Ref broke it up pretty quickly. Back to the center of the ring. And nobody's really dominating with their jab. Oh, but that was a good overhand right and a good counter. Straight left hand by Hernandez coming out of that exchange.
Yeah, both of these guys, as soon as you start to mention a punch from one of them, the other one comes back and lands a good shot.
That's true. That's what makes it a great bout. There you go. That is the end of round 3, the end of the fight in the top flight amateur bout of the evening. Carlos Hernandez versus Raul Manrique. We'll have the judge's decision coming up.
If you are suffering from pain, anxiety, inflammation, seizures, nausea, or nervous system degeneration, there is a new product you should hear about, CBD. At BS Unlimited, we have THC-free CBD oil, edibles, vape juice, lotions, and sprays. Once you try it, you'll be a believer and want to tell everyone. BS Unlimited offers a huge selection of CBD products just right for you. Come see what all the talk is about. BS Unlimited, 420 Southwest 59th.
We know why you're awake. You've got something on your mind. Turn those fantasies into reality with Hustler Hollywood. Hustler Hollywood's bright, modern stores are an upscale destination for couples seeking romance. Check out our impressive selection of lingerie, apparel, erotic toys, novelties, and more. Spice up your love life. Visit Hustler Hollywood. Sweet dreams.
And we are back at Firelake Casino in Shawnee, Oklahoma. The last amateur bout of the night. Top flight amateurs Carlos Hernandez and Raul Manrique. The judges have tallied their scorecards. Let's send it up to Gerald Whalen in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Firelake Arena, this amateur bout goes to the scorecards. And your winner by split decision, out of the blue corner, Raul Ugly Kid Manrique.
Raul Manrique, winner by split decision. I know a huge disappointment for Carlos Hernandez, as he had planned this to be the last amateur bout of a phenomenal amateur career before he turns pro at the beginning of next year. Darren, surprised by that split decision?
Not really. It was a close fight. I hate it for Carlos Hernandez being he's in his hometown and lost his last amateur fight, but I think Raul
didn't embarrass himself.
No,
by
not
anything.
at all.
Gave
It was
a
great fight.
Yeah.
I think it was certainly a split decision. I don't think it was by a wide margin at all.
Oh,
I would maybe give it to Raul just because I felt like maybe he was a little more aggressive.
And his counter-punching was sharper. But I think any judge would have been justified scoring every round 10-10.
Sure.
These guys were very evenly
fight.
matched fighters, as you could see in the replay there. We are at Firelake Grand Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Tonight's bouts brought to you by HD Boxing and Quantum CBD H2O. We have many more fights, our pro bouts, including our main event. Middleweight contenders in the ring. Stay with us.
Time for dinner.
Let's go.
Guys, I said no gloves at the table.
Listen to your mother.
Metro PCS brings you closer than ever to the UFC. Anytime, anywhere. On a reliable network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Metro PCS. Wireless figured out.
Boomerang Diner, home of the world-famous Burger Basket. Don't forget Friday night all-you-can-eat catfish at all Boomerang Diner locations. Enjoy breakfast all day, anytime. Check for the location nearest you at boomerangdiner.com.
Welcome back to Firelake Arena in beautiful Shawnee, Oklahoma. This is our heavyweight bout of the evening. And you hear the roar go up from the crowd as Rob Ivins, fighting out of the red corner, makes his way into the ring. His opponent tonight, fighting out of the blue corner, Chester Burton from Joplin, Missouri. Rob Ivins, of course, a hometown favorite. He's 40. He's been on the scene a long time. Had quite a few fights and obviously brought quite a fan base with him. Darren, tell us what you know about these guys.
Well, to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about either one of them, but what I do know at this point is Rob definitely has the best stare down, I think. Coming into the ring, he had a pretty serious look on his face, and as you mentioned, he's got a big fan following, and I'm sure he's here to try to make a big statement.
Well, I don't know what kind of fighter he is, but he sure looks scary, I can tell you that much. And his opponent in the blue corner, Chester Burton, he looks a little frightening as well. And we'll see how this heavyweight action turns out. Let's send it up to Gerald Whalen for the announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event is proudly brought to you by Line Tech Surfaces. 4 rounds of boxing scheduled in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at an official 210 pounds. From St. Louis, Missouri, ladies and gentlemen, Chester Obi-Wan Burton. And his opponent from across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at an official 196 pounds. His professional record stands at 3 wins with 2 defeats. 2 wins coming by way of knockout from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Rob Ivins. We go to Gerald Ritter for your instructions.
4 rounds in the heavyweight division. These are big guys coming to the center of the ring to get referee instructions. When you meet up in the center of the ring, Darren Humphreys, what do you look for when you're sizing up your opponent?
Well, it kind of depends. The stare down is kind of where you're trying to get the upper hand on your opponent. But like I said earlier, Rob definitely has the better stare down.
These guys certainly look like they mean business. Here we go. Opening of round 1. Heavyweight action at Firelake Arena here in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Tonight's bout's brought to you by HD Boxing. Of course, we're still looking forward to our main event tonight, the Road to Redemption. Bo Gibbs Jr., 19-1, undefeated, world ranking going into his last fight, and of course was the victim of a big upset TKO in the 6th round. Tonight, he puts it all on the line. It's do or die for Bo Gibbs.
Looks like a decent heavyweight fight to get started here. Rob Ivins comes out. He's a little bit stiff. Maybe that's because we're early in the fight and he hadn't relaxed yet, loosened up. As you can tell, Burton, he looks a little bit more loose. I'm not sure he wants to keep his hands down there, though. It looks like Ivins probably has some power.
Ivins certainly looks like he has some power, and Burton playing a few games here at the outset of round 1. I'm not sure he has the style or finesse to justify it, but he's putting on a good show nonetheless. But look at the stare on Rob Ivins' face.
Yeah, like I said, he certainly looks like he means all business.
Oh, big right hand from Rob Ivins. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Darren. I got so excited by that right hand, I interrupted you.
No worries. Looks like Burton has double the amount of rounds that Ivins has, but, I feel like he's kind of not taking this fight maybe as serious as Mr. Ivins is.
And I can't help but notice that I guess that's like a rat-tailed dreadlock there, is causing some problems for Burton as he's now trapped in the corner, and Rob Ivins is teeing off. The referee calling it a shove as Chester Burton finds himself on all 4s face down on the canvas, struggles to his feet even though the referee, Gary Ritter, waved it off. It's not a knockdown. Ivins teeing off on the body with right hands, and Chester Burton suddenly looks like he does not want to be here anymore.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Ivins coming in at 3-2. What I noticed about him when he knocked Burton down there a few seconds ago, he came back and started going to the body.
A series of right uppercuts from Rob Ivins put Chester Burton on the floor. Referee reaches the count of 10. This fight is over. Your main event with Bo Gibbs on the road to redemption still ahead. Stay with us.
Automax Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram is proud to be the sponsor of the title match this evening, and we welcome anyone even considering a new vehicle to give us a chance to earn your business. Our sales staff is friendly and knowledgeable, and our process is completely transparent. We're located at 4141 North Harrison Street in Shawnee, so give us a call today at 405-275-1104 or visit AutomaxDodge.com. Automax Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram, where the deals are automatic.
This is the main event of the evening, the Road to Redemption. Welcome to Firelake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Tonight's bout presented by HD Boxing. I'm Andrew Spino, ringside with former heavyweight champion of the world, or rather of Oklahoma, Darren Humphrey. This bout, Bo Gibbs, 19-1, was undefeated going into his last bout and was shocked by a 6-round TKO. This is his first bout back in the ring since that loss. The stakes could not be higher. Bo Gibbs, a world-ranked middleweight, hoping to keep his career alive with a victory tonight. His opponent, you would expect someone easy for this type of fight, but that is not who Bo Gibbs chose. He is taking on Dennis Knifechief, an experienced, very tough fighter who has beaten some top talent here in Oklahoma. Darren Humphrey, this is obviously an exciting fight when the stakes are this high. It's do or die for Bo Gibbs. His career is on the line. Knifechief, maybe to a smaller degree, but this could determine his future as well. What are the pressures for Bo Gibbs coming into this bout?
Well, first, he's just, getting the W. That's probably the biggest thing, coming back in his first fight since getting stopped, or actually his first loss. That's probably the biggest thing. He's got a great corner. I'm sure he's had a great camp leading up to this fight. Again, as I've mentioned several times earlier, when you get to this level, you've got to put all those things to the side. You've got to focus on your goal and job, and just get out there and execute it.
And tell us what you know about Dennis Knifechief. What does he bring into this bout?
Well, he's obviously going to be the smaller guy going into tonight. Gibbs Jr.'s, the bigger guy. I think Knifechief's going to have to come in and be the boxer. As I mentioned, he's the smaller guy, so he's going to have to box, move around. I know early in his career with Knifechief, watching him fight, he was the aggressor. I don't think he can be the aggressor tonight. I think he's, as I mentioned, going to have to be the boxer. Something else to consider is, Knifechief has never been past 5 rounds. This is a 6-round fight, but he's still never been past 5 rounds. That mentally is something that he worked on in camp, getting to this moment, where Bo Gibbs Jr. has been 10 rounds twice. So I think the experience, especially with the amateur credentials of Bo Gibbs Jr., obviously lies with Bo.
Well, you can tell Gibbs' amateur background as soon as he starts fighting. His technique is rock solid. Let's go to the tail of the tape. Here we go, Bo Gibbs versus Dennis Knifechief. Their records, Bo Gibbs, of course, as we mentioned, 19-1, only 1 defeat. Knifechief, a little more uneven, 8-6-1 his record. Guys about the same age, Gibbs 26, Knifechief 27, same height, same weight. Knifechief a very slight reach advantage of just 1 inch, 71 versus Bo Gibbs' 70-inch reach. The fighters are in the ring. It looks like they are ready to go. Let's send it up to Gerald Whalen.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to your main event of the evening. Proudly brought to you by Automax Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the middleweight division. This is for the Oklahoma middleweight title. With all those in attendance and everyone watching at home, it's fight night! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at an official 159 pounds. His professional record stands at 8 wins with 6 defeats with 1 draw. 3 wins coming by way of knockout. From Shawnee, Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen, Dennis, the Pawnee Express Knifechief. And his opponent from across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at an official 161 pounds. His professional record, an outstanding one. 16 wins with 1 defeat. 8 wins coming by way of knockout. From Kearney, Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning Oklahoma middleweight champion, Bo Hands of War Gibbs. We go to Gary Ritter for your instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, we're going 6 championship rounds. You got your instructions earlier. Give us a spirited, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Your foul line's navy, your trunks are good. Touch your gloves. Good luck.
Here we go. This is our main event of the evening. Road to redemption for Bo Gibbs Jr. Darren Humphrey, ringside, former champion, heavyweight champion of Oklahoma. Just looking at these fighters, what kind of shape do they appear to be in?
Well, they both, to me, look like they're in great shape. As I mentioned earlier, Knifechief's obviously the smaller guy. He's going to have to be the boxer. Bo's got the power, Bo Gibbs Jr., and Gibbs Jr. comes out slapping that jab, and throws a great left hook.
Oh! A flash knockdown. Oh, referee calls no knockdown, calling it a slip and a push. But it certainly looked like he went down as soon as Knifechief landed that big right hand to the ribs.
Yeah, my initial thought was that he went down from a punch, but they were both, trading leather at that point, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Feet got a little tangled up. It looked like a knockdown to me. Referee's in the ring. I'm sure he has a much better angle than I do. Does Bo Gibbs look in any way tentative to you?
No, not at all. In fact, I feel like he's in there setting on his punches. He's throwing heavy shots. I think Knifechief better keep that right hand up because Bo's bringing that left hand or that left hook, and he's bringing it with some bad intentions.
The Knifechief has very effective lateral movement. He's been able to evade a lot of the big shots that Gibbs has thrown, including that very quick, lightning-fast jab from Gibbs, but Knifechief got out of the way.
Yeah, Knifechief just landed a good left hook there.
We're about halfway through round one. Bo Gibbs Jr. versus Dennis Knifechief. And at this point, I'd put Knifechief a little bit ahead.
Yeah, I think Bo's trying to land that one big shot. Knifechief's obviously moving around quite a bit, which I don't blame him. I think that's his job. He needs to get out there and box. I think Bo's going to have to throw more than one punch at a time.
What is the psychological toll it takes on a fighter to have your sights set on fighting for a title with an undefeated record, never going down during your entire amateur or pro career after 19 fights? What's the psychological toll that takes on a fighter like Bo Gibbs?
Well, it takes quite a bit of a toll, but, your job is to get in there and fight, and, he's got great cornermen, great trainers, so I would hope at this point they're kind of putting all that to the side and just focusing on Knifechief.
And Gibbs landed a very nice left hook on the inside, which Knifechief took very well. It looked like a solid shot.
Yeah. Gibbs Jr.'s landed some really good left hooks. Knifechief's going to have to keep that right hand up a little bit more, in my opinion. He's taking it well right now, but in a 6-round fight, that could make a big difference in the 4th, 5th, 6th rounds.
Gibbs' balance doesn't look as good.
Yeah, and I think it's because he's trying to track Knifechief down. He's going towards Knifechief and, trying to cut him off.
Boomerang Diner, home of the world-famous Burger Basket. Don't forget Friday night all-you-can-eat catfish at all Boomerang Diner locations. Enjoy breakfast all day, anytime. Check for the location nearest you at boomerangdiner.com.
Here we go, round two of our main event, the Road to Redemption at Firelake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Bo Gibbs Jr., world-ranked middleweight contender in the silver trunks with red trim. His opponent, Dennis Knifechief, in the blue and white trunks. This fight very competitive so far. Darren Humphrey, what did you think of round one?
Well, it was a close fight. They came out. I don't think it was much of a filling out round in the first round. They both came out, trading shots. I do think Bo Gibbs Jr. is going to have to make some adjustments. He's going to have to quit chasing Knifechief around the ring and cut it off as opposed to, just chasing him around. He's going to need to cut off the ring. And, Knifechief's obviously on his bike, as he should be. But, again, Bo's going to have to learn to cut the ring off.
And now Gibbs finally starting to land some body shots as he traps Knifechief in the corner. Good right uppercut on the inside that landed flush. Snap back the head of Dennis Knifechief. Knifechief hanging in there, trying to tie him up. Bo Gibbs trying to unload and a huge left hook. Flush on the jaw of Dennis Knifechief. He's still standing. His legs are wobbly. You can tell. Does Bo Gibbs realize that Knifechief is hurt? I think he might not. He's not pressing the action as much as I thought he would at this point. Darren?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Wow, if that was a slip or a knockdown, but it looked like Bo Gibbs Jr. caught a left hook. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Andrew? I kind of got distracted there with that.
I got so wrapped up in that last exchange, I forgot what my question was. Well, this is an exciting fight. There's so much on the line. This is a crossroads for Bo Gibbs. his career really hinges on the outcome of this fight, and he did not pick an easy opponent. He picked a guy with good lateral movement, obviously a strong chin, very elusive, very hard to hit, and honestly, he's making Bo Gibbs look bad.
Yeah, he is moving quite a bit. Bo's going to have to, he's going to have to throw more than 1 to 2 punches at a time. Lunging out with that jab, he's going to have to follow that up. And he needs to set something up. If somebody's moving around in front of you, you have to set something up. You can't just throw wild shots. But he looks like he's throwing everything with intention, don't get me wrong.
Bo Gibbs is such a complete fighter with his storied amateur background and, of course, his 19 pro fights. Always comes in great shape, even though he came in a pound heavy for this fight. Obviously not affecting him. This is the end of round 2. We have round 3 coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the Thoroughbreds.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
The Thoroughbreds are back at Remington Park August 25th and 26th with cash prizes, Remington Park, and our casino that rocks right around the clock.
We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock.
Only at Remington Park.
One mud.
Welcome back to Firelake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma. The road to redemption. Our main event, Bo Gibbs versus Dennis Knifechief. Bo Gibbs coming off a very tough and shocking loss in his last fight. Undefeated up until that point and put his world middleweight ranking in jeopardy. Darren Humphreys, the last bout was close, but I think I might have given the edge to Knifechief, although Gibbs certainly landed the harder shots like he did just there.
Right, I think it can go either way. I thought that round could have gone either way. I lean more towards the aggressor that lands the heavier shots, and I think that was Bo Gibbs Jr. And I think you can kind of see that with Knifechief. He's getting a whelp under his eye, and I think that's due to the punishment that Bo was given to him.
Gibbs definitely has been aggressive, but Knifechief out hustling him with that little maneuver, spinning out of the corner and tagging Gibbs as he spun out.
Yeah, I think Knifechief has some good ring movement. I think what Bo does good is that one his punches.
Oh, big left hook by Knifechief. Then another one by Gibbs. Referee splits them up. I just wonder how many hard shots like that either one of these guys can take. I think though Gibbs clearly has more power.
True, and when they get into a little mix-up, whenever Bo Gibbs Jr. can cut him off, they start mixing it up pretty quick.
Well, Gibbs' punches are taking a toll on Knifechief's face.
Yeah, Knifechief has slowed down, in my opinion, this round, and I think Bo's doing a lot better job of cutting the ring off and landing some power shots.
Gibbs continues to chase Knifechief around the ring, lunging in with shots, trying to work his way on the inside. Knifechief, very slippery, hard to trap on the ropes, hard to trap in the corner, and very smartly has not chosen to go toe-to-toe with Bo Gibbs. But at what point does Bo Gibbs, and I'm asking because I think maybe I'm sensing a little bit on his face, is Bo Gibbs getting frustrated?
Well, potentially. I think he's got a lot to prove in this fight, coming back from his first loss, especially getting stopped. But let's keep in mind, Bo Gibbs went up to 168 pounds in his last fight where he got stopped. He moved up in weight, to try to win that 168-pound title. And now he's back down to 160. Of course, he didn't make the weight, but
just by 1 pound. Oh, again, back and forth action to close the round. This is the end of round 3. Round 4 coming up.
Time for dinner.
Let's go.
Guys, I said no gloves at the table.
Listen to your mother.
Metro PCS brings you closer than ever to the UFC. Anytime, anywhere. On a reliable network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Metro PCS. Wireless figured out.
Welcome back to the road to redemption at Firelake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Bo Gibbs versus Dennis Knifechief. Another interesting round, round 4, which wrapped up with another furious exchange in the corner. But I thought the momentum really shifted in Bo Gibbs' favor in that round.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like Knifechief's slowing down quite a bit, and maybe those power shots that Bo Gibbs is throwing is starting to have some effect.
Yeah, I think those body shots thrown by Gibbs are taking a toll on Knifechief's legs. He's not as fluid as he was in the earlier rounds.
Right.
And, of course, Gibbs has wobbled him a couple times.
True.
As well. No knockdowns in this fight, although Gibbs has technically been on the canvas twice. The judge twice ruling it a push or slip. Here they are exchanging now.
Great body shot there by Bo Gibbs. He's obviously trying to slow Knifechief down, and that's going to take a big toll on Knifechief as we get later into this fight.
And Knifechief has to know that Gibbs is never going to stop walking him down, that the pressure is not going to let up. And as the rounds go on, here we are toward the end of the 5th. Knifechief actually looks a little concerned. And Gibbs' frustration from the previous round, I think, is gone because he's landing now.
Sure, yeah, I think he's definitely gotten into a better rhythm, although Knifechief landed a great uppercut as Bo Gibbs came in right there.
He really did. Gibbs took it like a champ, didn't even stagger him, kept on his feet, and there was a nice little clash of heads coming out of that as well. No damage done. Neither fighter cut. A little bit of slowing on Knifechief. But here we are, late in the fight, and Knifechief still has enough left to get away with things like that.
Yeah, you know, in the first few seconds of this round, Knifechief came out and threw a good combination and circled back out. And I noticed he's done that same thing here in the last minute or so, a couple of times. So.
Wicked body shots landed to both sides of Knifechief's body. I think Bo Gibbs is really finding his rhythm and his range here. He's taking control. It looks like.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. As he wraps up Knifechief there in the corner, banging to the body and to the head. I think they're both probably taking a breather here.
Well, I was just about to say that Gibbs just won't let Knifechief breathe. He's staying on top of him. Knifechief returning fire from the corner. Not able to spin out as he had done earlier. Gibbs landing 2 sneaky uppercuts on the inside. Again, wailing away to the body. Knifechief fighting back. Oh, what a great exchange as these two end round number 5.
Right.
This has been a fantastic fight, and that was the best round of the fight.
I agree, and that was a great ending to that fight, but what Knifechief's going to have to do is get out of that corner. He does not want to be there with Bo Gibbs leaning on him and setting up all those power shots. Knifechief needs to get the fight back into the center of the ring and start boxing again.
Yeah, Gibbs is naturally so much bigger. He certainly can't wrestle around in there with Gibbs without it taking a serious toll on his endurance. Corners working on both fighters as we head into the 6th and final round. But here as we can see in our Quantum CBD H2O replay, Bo Gibbs really took control in this round and manhandled and mauled Knifechief and won dominantly, I think.
We're actually heading into the 5th round, so we got
I'm
two
sorry,
more
I
rounds.
lost track rounds. That being the 4th, this one being the 5th. I'll tell you what, we've seen enough action for 15 rounds.
You're right about that.
That must be what threw me off.
You're right about that.
We are in the 5th round. 5th round of a 6th round bout. Bo Gibbs versus Dennis Knifechief. Bo Gibbs, his career could go one of 2 ways based on the outcome of this fight. It looked like he struggled to figure out Knifechief in the first 3 rounds, but in the 4th, he really took control and looked like he had the confidence to go ahead and win. What did you see, Darren?
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's pulling away in this fight. I think Knifechief's hanging on. He's definitely slowed Knifechief down. Notice Knifechief just waiting in the corner for Bo to come over there, and that's not the smartest thing to do.
No, and Knifechief looks worried as Bo Gibbs is coming in.
Yeah.
He could blame him, of course, but he doesn't have the good movement and the snap on his combinations that he did in the earlier rounds. And his body language is different. He's not taking advantage of his height like he was in the earlier rounds either. He looks almost like he's bracing for the
impact.
For the impact, yeah, before the punches are even thrown.
Oh, great right hand, but Bo follows up with a beautiful combination.
He sure did, working upstairs and downstairs, right to the ribs, left hand up top, and it looked like about 5 of 6 of those punches landed. Knifechief, though, still in there. This is not in the bag yet for either fighter by any stretch. Gibbs obviously doing better, but Knifechief still very much in this fight.
Oh, good left hand by Bo Gibbs Jr. Knifechief did land a series of his own left hooks as he moved out of the corner there. Good job.
I think Gibbs is just going to walk him down to either a late knockout or a unanimous decision. Because just look at Bo Gibbs there. You can just see the strength in his back as he's pouring in on Knifechief.
Right.
And Knifechief just can't compete with him when it comes to strength and size.
Right, and I think you can tell a difference in Bo Gibbs Jr.'s demeanor now as opposed to the earlier rounds when we felt like maybe he was getting frustrated following Knifechief around.
Absolutely.
Now you can tell he's kind of setting on his punches a little bit better. He looks a lot more confident, and he's certainly throwing the heavier blows.
Yeah, and landing many more shots. This is the end of round 5. Round 6, your final round coming up. Welcome back to Shawnee, Oklahoma, Firelake Arena, the 6th and final round of our main event. Middleweights, the road to redemption. Bo Gibbs Jr., world-ranked middleweight, fighting Dennis Knifechief. Knifechief giving Bo Gibbs hits, and may have staggered him just now. It looks like, it looks like Knifechief. It looks like Knifechief.
Oh,
he's
great
back
body
in this
shot
fight.
by
Heavy
Knifechief.
body punch that buckled the knees of Dennis Knifechief. Gibbs unloading on those shots every time he can get into range. Big
great
left hook.
shot.
Can Knifechief go the distance? That is the question.
There's no doubt Knifechief's desire to win and chin for that matter. He's got a great chin, it looks like. Bo's landed some heavy shots.
He really is. But that was a beautiful left hook. He caught Gibbs coming in. I didn't think Knifechief had that much left in him. But he'll surprise you. Fighters tie up in Gibbs' corner. Gibbs still determined to keep the pressure on Knifechief, not let him get away. It would be great if Gibbs could end this fight.
Left hook there by Knifechief, and he circled out real good. Didn't get caught coming straight back.
He did, and he caught Gibbs coming in again. Good right hand. Here they are trading shots. Knifechief, his movement. has almost been dictating the outcome of this round. Darren, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm impressed with Knifechief's ability to come back and get in the fight this round. He certainly has the potential to maybe win this round. I think overall, though, Bo Gibbs is probably ahead in the fight.
Well, this has been a spectacular match, and Bo Gibbs really, for somebody who was coming off a very tough, very surprising KO loss for the first time in his career, has really given a good performance of himself. Because I think what he's shown is that he can adjust.
Sure.
He can still learn on the job. And even when he had every reason in the world to be frustrated after those first 2 rounds, he figured Knifechief out.
Right.
And regained control of his fight.
Right, you know, and that's something to be said about Bo Gibbs Jr. and his team. You know, they had a lot of momentum going into his last fight, but he got stopped and lost, and, you know, being world ranked. And
here we are, final seconds, toe-to-toe. Both of them going all at it as the bell rings to end the 6th and final round. The decision for the road to redemption coming up.
Automax Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram is proud to be the sponsor of the title match this evening, and we welcome anyone even considering a new vehicle to give us a chance to earn your business. Our sales staff is friendly and knowledgeable, and our process is completely transparent. We're located at 4141 North Harrison Street in Shawnee, so give us a call today at 405-275-1104 or visit AutomaxDodge.com. Automax Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram, where the deals are automatic.
We are back at Firelake Arena in Shawnee, Oklahoma. What a spectacular main event, the middleweight road to redemption. The judges have tallied their scorecards. Let's send it up to ring announcer Gerald Whalen.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for that magnificent fight? The main event of the evening, brought to you by Automax, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, goes to the scorecards. Judge Sarah Atwood scores the bout 60-54. Judge Mike Bauer scores the bout 59-55. And Judge Gerald Ritter scores the bout 59-55. For your winner by unanimous decision, out of the red corner, Bo Hands of
Bo Gibbs, the winner of our main event, and it looks like his road to redemption is on the right track, winning a very tough but unanimous decision over Dennis Knifechief here in our main event tonight. I have to tell you, Darren Humphrey, the 60-54 scorecard surprised me.
Yeah, me too. I was kind of surprised at that. I had it a lot closer than that. I think I don't have a problem with Bo Gibbs getting the decision there. I just think it was a lot closer. You know, I do feel like Bo won the fight. I just felt like it was closer. It was a tough fight. It was good for him. You know, you learn a lot when you take a loss, and I think he's learned a lot over the last month or two getting ready for this in camp, and then actually winning the fight tonight. You know, he overcame a big obstacle, and you know what? He's going to grow and be a bigger, better fighter from this. So
yeah, I think what we saw tonight is a sign of good things to come for the career of Bo Gibbs Jr. Well, it has been a fantastic night of action inside the ring, brought to you this evening by HD Boxing. We would like to thank our sponsors, Automax, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Quantum CBD H2O, Line Tech Services, and Metro PCS. On behalf of former heavyweight champion Darren Humphrey, I'm Andrew Spino. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again inside the ring with HD Boxing next time. Good night.